How is everybody doing tonight? Mad Cats, Cam, Otto, Chappies, Nimrez, Eric Smith. How's everybody doing? So tonight we are going to get into a nice Sunday market analysis. We are going to talk about some of the plays from the weekend, and we'll also get into some of the plays from or upcoming this week and some of the options plays that we're looking at. We'll take a deep dive into futures. We'll try to set some levels, and then we will, just kind of see what's up. Stack, Crypto Kata, long and short. What's up? What's up? Bearish Bull, JJ, IZ. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing tonight? So, without further ado, let's get into these charts. Nelson Loza, what's up? So, I've got a couple requests on people wanting to see why we took that Bitcoin short and why we were after that ETH short as well. And, what kind of gave us the confidence to stick in it and to stay through it and not jump out of there, right? I had posted this a while before, but basically I was, JD, Christian, Buzz, Shep, what's up? What's up? You guys are too much. KSBO, what's up, man? I think you're brand new, right? I think you just joined the boot camp today. So how's it going, man? But so basically I was reading a bunch of news this weekend, and I was just seeing all of these things about the ETH getting pulled off of all of the exchanges, and we were getting kind of into this this kind of like topping, or this kind of like rolling over pattern, kind of like, we had just tried so hard but we couldn't get up, and that's kind of what we had seen, what we kind of have seen going into this yesterday's session. As you see, we rebounded quite nicely, and we're back up, back up above the previous couple of days range, putting in a little bit of value up here, it looks like, as well. But we'll see if we can continue that upside. And so on Saturday at 2:10 p.m., which would have been right here, that's 13, like right here. I had posted about an ETH short and a Bitcoin short and an ETH long and a Bitcoin long. The Bitcoin short, and this is all posted, in our Discord, and you can see the time yesterday, 2:10 p.m. It's not like edited or anything. This is the real deal. But basically, I'm seeing this nice structure down here, and I'm noticing how we are. Go back to red. Noticing how we are popping above it. So I see this nice structure forming above, and the short I was looking for was 46,200. So it was a little bit further down, because I really wanted to get short below this low, just because we are in this uptrend, right? So I was a little bit more cautious of getting short, just because if you look at the past couple of days, we had just been, slowly grinding up. We had a nice run to the upside, kind of grinded sideways, then we popped up again, and then we kind of went flat, right? And I don't know if this is a pattern. You guys can tell me. You guys are my pattern masters. ATS, man, what's up? Going to sleep, saw notification. Yeah, who appreciate it. Bar none, what's up, man? You smell an ETH short? Yeah, so do I, actually. I was smelling that as well. But I don't know if this is a pattern, but this kind of looks like a little music note, doesn't it? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if Alex is in here. He's my pattern master. Um, but basically, I was looking at this and thinking that's a pretty long time to not go anywhere, right? And so after we came down a little bit, I said, well, let's see if we test the bottom of structure. Popped up, tested that bottom of structure, failed. And that's when I decided that 46.2, which was going to be our low down here, was going to be a nice little short. You definitely could have caught it from a little bit higher even, but I like to play it safe, especially on the weekends because you never know what's going to happen. So we ended up getting short on that 46.2, pop down. We rotated a little bit. We had a nice pop down, started to set in value, took some profit. We hit both of our profit targets, and then is that the Bart Simpson? We actually talked about that during the live trade room on Friday, which is funny if that's what that is. Um, that would be hilarious. We took some profit on here, and then this pump up. I wasn't on the computer to catch this nice Bitcoin long. I'd put out a Bitcoin long position from 46,951, um, which would have been from about here, 951, which would have been from like about right here, and it was just on the break of this top structure. Um, so you could have caught it on the way up. I think me and can't remember who else was in it. There was a couple of us in this long before, but it played out again as well. Let me see who it was. I know I was talking to somebody about it. It was Izzy. Yeah, I think it was Izzy. Yeah, Izzy and I were in this Bitcoin long, and I was telling him to watch that 47.4 level because I think there's some sellers up there that might try to smack us down, and they ended up doing it. So we waited till we got down here, switched to a short, and caught a nice little short. Let's switch over to ETH. And ETH, you had to be a little bit more patient because it just took longer to play out. But as you can see, the structure basically just traded sideways the whole day, right? So we just waited. We got short at the 32.40 right here. Well, not very straight, but let me draw a straight line for you guys. 32.40 right here, just the break of structure, and just caught a really nice move down, right? It doesn't look as drastic as it was. The cool thing about this short is that you never got in any danger at all. You shorted back into the value area, and it just came down, and you could have literally put your stop at your entrance right from the get-go, and it never came uh, back to the beginning at all. So it was actually a really nice little play, stress free, right? Especially on the weekend, that's kind of what you're looking for. You're not looking to get yourself all stressed out on the weekend. On ETH right now, I was looking for this 20 level to get some continuation. So we got long on the 32.20, no continuation. I'm still holding the long position right now. But if it breaks underneath of this C period, that's when I'll cut it. This 33.01. Um, it still looks like it has. I mean, it's basically just kind of forming like right into this like point. So maybe it bounces and goes one way or another. Um, it's just gonna have to kind of charge up basically. So that'll be something that we'll definitely watch as we continue forward. If you look at a couple of the other coins, we have some different trading from some of them. Right, you're getting normally Bitcoin kind of drags everything around, but you see this one was more of like a little wave. We had this nice run up on pretty much everything. Looks like we're getting ready to maybe run up again on Link. Yeah, Link looks like it wants to go. Take a peek at XRP. XRP's kind of been leading the charge. Um, lately and didn't really have as much of a pullback as a lot of the other ones. You see these previous day lows, it didn't even come close to them. Now it's popped up. It didn't have that nice run up, but it's already ran up. So of course it didn't have that run up that the rest of them had. With ADA, I wanted to take this short here, but I kind of had a lot going on, and it was basically the same idea, right? We're just looking, we're just getting this sideways action from the market. We're getting some structure here. We got some lower structure, and we have a little corner kick play right here. Comes down. It actually gets rejected, but not at a very specific spot. And when it came back up, it held that value area high and then traded back down. So we ended up, I mean, I didn't take the trade. It would have been a nice trade to get in, but I was more focused on the ETH short and managing that Bitcoin short as well. Would have been a nice play to get into. Young Cryptic, what's up, man? How's it going? So, see what we got going on here. We basically are just, ADA is kind of coming back into the top of this structure. You see this structure here. And then, we're putting in a little bit of a structure here. So we want to look for this thing to hold. If it pulls back down, we want to look for it to hold, get some rotations, push back up. And then I'd still like to wait with it. The thing that I was talking about how basically all of the ETH was coming off of the exchange, right? And the reason that was kind of making me feel a little bit bearish, looks like it wants to go. The reason it was making me feel a bit, that the downside was going to come, at least for a bit, was because, it's something that market makers like to do is, if they can control the float, which is the quantity available, if the float is a stock term, a lot of times what momentum traders do is they'll look for a low float stock, and then once they see some buying coming in, they'll just jump on for the ride, right? Low float's going to move around a little bit more because there's not as many to go around. So if a bunch are pulled off the exchange and then all of a sudden they're flooded back on, that's what pushed us down. And then, we're kind of getting, and I know you guys know I'm not a huge fan of patterns. But if you look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, it looks like it's getting pretty, let's remove all these drawings. It looks like it's getting pretty tight up here. All right, we're kind of like in this channel. I'm a pretty decent fan of channels. But you kind of see we're in like this little upwards channel. Where's the bottom? And so as we kind of continue up on this, it looks to me like, there might be a little bit more upside. But when it finally decides to make a decision, it's gonna be a pretty drastic move, right? It kind of looks to me like how this looks over here. You see this kind of chopped around, kind of shot up, and then came back down pretty hard. And so what I'm looking for is, and I know this sounds probably kind of crazy, I'm looking for a pullback to this 40,000 level, maybe a little bit higher. I mean, this is a daily chart, so about this 40K level, and to see if it can hold. If it can hold, then I think maybe, the new all-time highs are coming on. A lot of people have been asking me to kind of do a more longer term analysis, and this is kind of what I'm getting at. So if we pull back, which I kind of do expect, I don't know when, you know, maybe we see a rejection off of this 50K, pull back to 40K, hold it, pop up. Anthony Ryan, yeah, 1K into 14K, yeah, it's actually over 14K, but yeah, a little bit over in 21 days. Just a TPO, my man. Yep, couple swing trades, couple, you know, big moves. I mean, we had a nice big moves. If you're not in our Discord and you go in the Discord, you can scroll back and look at all of the plays that I've posted. I mean, they go all the way back to like May or something, maybe June. I think it's May, but yeah, just jump in there. If you're new, jump in our Discord and introduce yourself, and you know we'll pass you a red pill and you know show you the door, bro, and you can get it rocking as well. Just remember, guys, the TPO isn't just gonna. It's not the cure all, right? Doesn't tell you when to press the button. You've still got to understand how to control your emotions. You've still got to understand the psychology behind trading. You've still got to understand how, you know, the auction actually happens. All right, Chappies, we'll see you later, man. If you guys haven't checked out Chappie's most recent videos where he's going through his trades, definitely check that out. Chappies Crypto on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes to it, so it's not just the TPO. But that's just how I trade. I trade off the market structure, using the profile, and using a couple of other things, obviously volume profile and my gut. I guess that this ETH trade, this ETH short was kind of more of a gut trade than anything. But I just sometimes you just feel it. You know what I mean? You never. I know Shep likes to call me Yoda. Sometimes you just get that feeling. Like you're thinking like, you know what, this thing is. It's gonna go down. And I could tell. I could feel it. That's kind of what I was thinking. Just happens. But yeah, so this is kind of what I'm expecting. So if it comes down and holds this 40,000, might be a decent spot if you're not in a hodl position now, which you guys know that I'm not on Bitcoin. To maybe try a decent long position, maybe a nice swing long position. That's where I think I'm gonna look for a swing long. It's funny, around like 29,000, myself and No Credits, he's our gift creator in the Discord. He's the Magic Man. We were talking about doing a swing long on ETH and Bitcoin from around when we were down at this level, and man, that would have been nice, right? Hindsight's 2020, so we'll see. But, that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as Bitcoin goes. If we go to the ETH, we kind of see something similar, except for ETH really doesn't. It's just kind of having a mind of its own lately, right? I think a lot of people thought, I was reading about how a lot of people were thinking ETH was doing like a Head and Shoulders or something like that, but no, apparently not, right? I think they got sucked into that. That's what caused all these people to get short down here, and then ETH just kind of ripped their heads off. So but with ETH, levels to watch for sure, especially on a pullback, are going to be this 3,000 level. That's a big level. I think if we do pull back, that's going to be a big level that it needs to hold in order to continue this upside. Let me bring those lines back, actually. Need those for today. Oops. But yeah, let's see. You said, can you go into more depth about understanding outside of TPO? What do you mean? Like like looking up market stuff, or what do you mean, Imres? Auto, can you overview link? Do you see it? Trade with proper structure similarly. Oh yeah, I could do an overview. Um, yeah, I mean, link just kind of, it's not really, uh, it doesn't really put in nice structure. You know what puts in nice structure if you're looking for something smaller to trade? Litecoin. Litecoin puts in nice structure. Look at these. So if you're looking for something a little bit smaller to trade, nice structure here, nice structure here. There's nice structure back here, putting in nice structure here, nice structure here. Litecoin puts in nice structure like kind of all over the place. I guess Link is like, what, Link is like 21 bucks, 28 bucks. You could do Ethereum Classic or BNB. Ethereum Classic puts in some pretty nice structure as well, actually. It's just not very, doesn't move, and then when it does move, it really moves, but it just kind of waits to move. Just be a longer position that you'd have to hold. I have started trading DOT as well. It's kind of ugly looking, but when DOT starts to get going, it just really starts to get going. And I've been playing these corner kick plays on DOT. As you can see, like fails, get a long, comes back again, back tests a low, fails, gets long, right? Comes back down to VWAP, buys up. Same idea. You know, just over and over and over. And then even right here, we had this pop up, failed, you know, slow drag down to this side, but same idea. If you want to concisely know or study where or what the gut feeling comes from, is study aggregation of fractals, physics, or animal groups in 3 dimensions, anthropology. Okay, yeah. I've done I've studied a little bit of fractals, but never any anthropology. I have studied a lot of animal stuff. I know a lot about animals, probably too much. Um, I just love animals. Oh yeah, BCH is a good one to trade. Yeah, that's a good one too, Mad Cats. That's a good call. All right, guys. So we've looked at some crypto. We're pretty much just in a holding pattern on pretty much everything, right? Um, we're seeing these smaller caps kind of lead us up. I guess the altcoins. Bitcoin already decided to give us a little pop, but it came back quick, right? Um, Bitcoin's kind of been doing that all night. We want to see if these altcoins are going to jump on board. It's kind of why I'm saying these altcoins are kind of leading us, because Bitcoin has been popping up, right? But then it's just been coming back down to structure. And so it's popping up and it's like, hey, come on, guys. Let's go. Join the party. And you know, none of these altcoins have gone yet. So we'll pretty much just have to wait and see if they do. Um, like I said, I'm still in this long from 33.20, so I'm down a dollar right now. So we'll see. You know, maybe I'll decide to go before we go to bed, because I don't have time to stay up all night again. Stayed up late last night trading with mostly by myself, but a couple of you guys were on, so it's kind of cool. Your gut feeling tells you that we are due for a weekly candle pullback. Let's look at the weekly candle. A weekly candle. I don't think I've ever looked at this chart. Weekly candle pullback. Could be. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's going to be some big resistance up here, probably around like that 58,359 level, at least on this weekly, is what it looks like. Yeah, I just kind of see, go back to the daily. I just kind of see us getting, a little bit, a little bit kind of sticking in this channel. You know what I mean? Like, this was kind of noticing this today, and so I imagine that we can kind of just bounce back and forth, until we break out of it, and then if we do break out of it, I really want to see. Oh yeah, Cam, you were up with me. Uh, I really want to see if it holds this 40K. If it doesn't hold this 40K, I expect a pullback, probably to like 20K, honestly. I don't know how long it will take. You never know. Bitcoin just does kind of what it wants. There is a lot of stuff going on, with Afghanistan is pretty much getting taken over again. So far, after 4 green candles on the weekly, been pulling back. Yeah, just don't let it get you a bias. Just trade the chart. That's a lot of times, like, that's good information to have. You just got to make sure that you can withhold your bias from it, thinking like, oh, I'm going to get short because of that. Right? But yeah, there is a lot of news going on, as far as just world news, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. You have the Taliban took over Kabul. They took it back, or Kabul, and it's just it's just kind of crazy. And there's a lot of news coming out of China. If you guys haven't seen, I'll pull it up for you guys right now, so that way I'm not misreading it or anything. But basically, what's happening in China is why 20K? Because it tried that level already. You know what I mean? It tried it a bunch. Then it finally found some buyers and popped up. But this time, I mean, I'm not saying that it won't bounce there a little bit. I just expect a deeper pullback if it can, if it doesn't hold the 40. Yeah, so basically China is kind of running out of credit, right? Their bonds are worth nothing. And so it's and typically they'll lead us, China will. And so that's just something to look out for, because if this does end up pushing the stock market down, the US stock market down, it tends to drag crypto with it. Pretty much crypto follows the US stock market for the most part. You haven't really seen a time where Bitcoin was breaking out where the stock market wasn't breaking out. Sometimes Bitcoin pulls back and the stock market doesn't, but not the other way around. And there is some interesting news coming out Monday. So if we take a peek at the economic calendar, let me pull it up for you guys. If we take a peek at the economic calendar for this upcoming week, this was last week. Here's this week. We have the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Well, this might not be the one that we want. Let's get a better one here. Let's look at the Bloomberg one. There we go. So we have, state manufacturing. There's actually some Fed speakers on Monday as well. I don't know why they're not showing up here. And then on Tuesday, we have retail sales. core retail sales, which could be a pretty decent sized market mover. And then a bunch of industrial stuff. And then we have Fed Chair Powell speaking on Tuesday. This is going to be the day that you need to be paying attention for. So mark it on your calendar. It's going to be Tuesday at 13:30 Pacific time. So whatever time that is from wherever you're at, that's something that you definitely want to make sure you are definitely watching, because what's going to be said is about the tapering, and if he is going to taper interest rates, right? If they start the tapering and they're going to start doing buybacks and stuff, interest rates should go up. But we've been kind of told that he's not going to do that. And if we take a look at, if you look at the US 10-year, you can kind of see that it's it's already gapping down, right? And if the 10-year just keeps dropping, this would be probably the best time ever to borrow money, right? Do you teach TPO order profile in Discord? I'm in the free Discord, may join. I'm into many Discords and just focus on lines on a chart. Yeah, I teach all of that stuff. Crypto Life 101. Yeah, so I teach in the TPO bootcamp, we go over everything about the TPO. We go over psychology and risk management. We go over pretty much everything that has to do with it. Yeah, David, for sure. Chirp. So that will affect the overnight and Wednesday. No, so that will be that's during the market hours. Or it's right after the market hour, right after the market closes. So it'll probably affect that Asia Open on Tuesday afternoon. That's what I would expect. And then Wednesday, not really a ton of news. We have the building permits. Doesn't really tend to move the market as much as that. This crude inventory, oil inventories report will actually be extremely important because of the news in Afghanistan. With that going on, right? Typically, what do we see when there's a war? Kind of like a battle for oil. So if oil prices, and they've been just, oil's just been getting crushed, guys. It's just been getting, it's on just, just a big slope down lately, right? You can see, our original short spots, and then it kind of pops down, and this is kind of my line in the sand where I'm looking for it to kind of hold. But if we keep getting this terrible news and stuff like that, it's gonna start getting pretty ugly. We've got to definitely watch out for that for sure. Let's see. Thanks, Bearish. Yeah, that's the website where you can sign up. If you're having issues with the website, Crypto Life, because I know we're having some issues with it, just message me and I'll add you to the Discord, and then we can take care of the payment once we get the website back up. The website should be up and working tomorrow morning for sure. He's testing that bottom. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm probably stopped out on that one for sure. Yeah, I had my stop loss at 33.01. I don't have the chart up right now, so I probably got stopped out of that bad boy. So, all right, that happens. But yeah, and then for the rest of the week, so Wednesday morning, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It says 10:30. That's definitely wrong. This must be on Eastern time, I think. So this is gonna happen at 7:30. So Chirp, that's actually gonna happen. Fed Chair Powell is gonna speak at what do we say? The Tuesday, right? And this is gonna be at 13:30. So that's going to be at 10:30 Pacific time. So these are going to be in Eastern time. Yeah, they've got to be. It's going to be during the market because that oil inventory report comes out at 7:30 in the morning. So I know that for sure. And right here it's saying 10:30. So that's going to happen in our live trade room. And then Thursday, we have those continuous jobless claims, initial jobless claims. You know, sometimes move the market past a couple weeks. Had a pretty good report last couple weeks, and so if we get a negative report, it could be bad. And Friday, there's pretty much nothing going on. They don't put a lot of news on Friday on purpose, right? Because they don't want the market to gap down over the weekend. If we look over at futures, the ES gapped down on the open today. I was wondering why this looks so weird. This data is not full up to date either. What's going on there? But we see, you know, this kind of we had a little gap down, we popped up, and now we're trading down a little bit lower. I posted a short trade in the Discord for the ES for those of our futures traders. You know, worked out pretty nice. Just a couple of points from about 36 quarter to 33.75. Couple of points to tide you over until the morning. That way you guys can get some sleep and go to bed. So we see it trading down. It kind of looks like that same pattern that Bitcoin just hit, right? It's not as flat. It's not, you know, the ES doesn't trade as structurally as crypto. And I think that's kind of why I've had such a, I don't want to say easy, but just a more consistent time trading crypto, because I'm very patient. And if you just stay patient while you're trading crypto and use the TPO to your advantage, and just take those trades as they go, and then you make sure you're managing risk, and you know, let your winners win and cut your losers quick, you'll be good to go. I was actually putting together an Excel sheet, and so if you see, and I'm not all the way caught up, but this is from 6/1 up until 6/29, and these are all the posts that I've posted inside of the TTV Discord. And you can see in the P&L is just based off of like a 5x. Like if you were to just 5x, you would have got, you know, 4.85% for every dollar that you put in. So it's just off of 5x, because, you know, leverage and everything is going to be different. That's why I put the total number of points here. But we've hit a couple of thousand pointers. Most of our averages are around like 5 or 6. But you see we've got 1 loss here, 2 loss here, 3 loss here. So 3 losses in the month of, and this is like I said, this is June. You know, not too bad, right? We'll have to, you know, I'm gonna have to finish this up as we go forward, but you know, it's definitely not bad consistency. Will I offer an advanced course in the future? I am making a couple of courses. One's on options, one's on psychology. I think James is gonna lead the futures class, because I know a lot of people want to get into futures, and there's kind of a lot more that goes into futures just because it moves so much faster. Might not move as much, right, as like point wise as crypto or those kind of things, but there is a lot of fast movement. So how much is each trade? That's going to depend on your account, right? So that's why I put the points on there. So if you just look at the points, so you know, this trade was 350 points, this trade was 578 points, trade was 800, 500, 1000, 7, 1000, 1400, you know, 555. These are smaller because they're on ADA and XRP. You know, so it just depends on, that's why I just did a generic 5%, 5x, if you're just using 5x on this one. So for the small account challenge, what I've been doing for the most part is using 50%. Once I started, I was using 50% of the account and I was doing 25x, and now I've backed off where I'm using 50% of the account and I'm using 10x. So as we go forward, I'll just keep trying to keep kind of trying to get to the spot where it starts to seem consistent. You know, obviously it's been a little bit more than consistent. Like contracts, what do you mean? You know, the points, I'm talking about like the actual move in points. So the position size would be based off of you, right? I don't say like how big of a position you should take or anything like that. I'm just talking about like the when I made the trade, it moved at 1400 points, or it moved 800 points or something like that, based off of our TP1, our take profit 1, and our take profit 2. Yeah, the big thing about those is that, you know, you've got to manage your own risk, and you've got to understand that, you know, as soon as you get in the trade, it's not always just going to go, you know, in your direction. So you've got to be ready for it to you've got to be you can't just, you know, 100x everything unless you've got, you know, a larger account. You got to make sure that you can cover yourself, right? So let's look at the NASDAQ. We saw the NASDAQ kind of lead the way up on Friday, and we're seeing it kind of flatten out. If the NASDAQ breaks below this 15,092 level. Oh, what are you asking? Sorry, bro. This 1592 level. Yeah, I'm just super patient, Izzy. That's what it is. I just stay patient. Oh, what size I was using. Oh, okay, yeah. So I started with $1,000. Yeah, but that was 21 days ago. Those are just the calls from June. I'm still just catching up on all of those. Yeah, so the $1,000 I've taken to 14K in 21 days. And that's yeah, that's using, I was using 50% of the account, and I was using 25x. And then I did a couple of nice swing trades that really boosted us up there. Yeah, so if the Nasdaq breaks below this level, we could see a pullback in equities. It wasn't able to take this high, and this is definitely, you know, something that if you're watching the Nasdaq, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to, because if it doesn't continue on its way up, it could pull back back down into lower value. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, yeah, sorry. So hard through text. That's why I like Zoom so much better, man. Let's look at the Dow. We've seen the ES kind of follow the Dow lately, and this is kind of like what I was talking about, right? Kind of that same pattern. It looks like the little music note pattern, and it kind of, you know, it's looking like it's trading down. Oh, what's up, O? Past your bedtime, I think, right? But yeah, so the Dow's kind of, you know, Dow's kind of pushing its way down. A break of this level on the Dow, we start to eat into some of these single prints, and you get some value down here. And a big thing to watch for the Dow, for those Dow traders out there, is oil, of course. You know, I caught a nice Dow short this morning, or well, not this morning, I guess this afternoon, when it opened up. We got a nice little move. What? In the backyard? Yeah. Not yet. But now let's get into some options. So one big thing that I'm watching, and I posted this kind of rough, but I'm gonna be watching airlines this weekend. And the reason being is we see airlines kind of pull down, and I've drawn some zones for us. But we saw airlines kind of pull down. So what I'm looking for here is if we get support in this area from, this is UAL, United Airlines, if it gets some support in this area, I might look to try to go long. But if it cannot hold the support, then a short opportunity is going to be on the way for sure. Delta Airlines as well. We're seeing Delta kind of have it's kind of in its little support area here. Move this. It's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Oh well. Yeah, so we're seeing a little support area on Delta, but I definitely could see us pulling back a little bit farther into this 39.26 level. American Airlines as well. Kind of looking for a bounce on American Airlines back down this level. So if it continues down, I want to see if it bounces. If it doesn't bounce in this area, or if it rotates and then continues down, look to jump on that short side of that. Also, another one to watch that had big news this weekend is Boeing. They had that contract, but they're starting to turn down as well. You can see they're kind of losing this uptrend. They were able to take the high by just a little bit on that last push up. Now they're kind of pushing down. So we'll watch them to see if they hold, this 234 to 233 level as a support zone. Axelrod with the turbo trades. Another one I was looking at too, which I'm not sold on yet, is Abbott. So Abbott Laboratories, basically, it looks like it's due for a breakout. So if it can hold this, and this can be a nice cheap play as well, to the upside. You can see it's popped up, it's held support, it's popped up again, held support again. So it looks like it can continue to the upside. We had some nice options plays last week in the live trade room. Yeah, I posted all of the trades in all of my trades in the accountability section of the TPO Bootcamp Discord as well. And then I started screenshotting some of the stuff from Bybit just in case people thought it was bullshit. But yeah, so Abbott looks like it has some decent chance. If we look at Apple as well, Apple's kind of right above our little support zone, and it's making a lower low. And this is something, that you want to keep an eye on as far as how these things are trading. That means buyers are either sellers are coming in sooner and sooner, or people aren't buying up as much. And so as we come up, depending upon how we open, and it looks like the NASDAQ is trading down at the moment. So we could open back down in this range, and a break below this range could send us back down to this 146 level. And so I'm looking at some 148 puts for Apple. Those are one that I definitely have on my list as well. I was actually looking at a currency play for those of my, I know we've got some currency traders in here. Is it GBP? GBP UR. So it's the euro versus the British pound. I don't know how updated this data is, but if we get up here and fail to put in another high, it kind of, to me, looks like we've hit that peak, and you can kind of see on this downtrend that we've just been coming down, popping, coming down, popping, coming down, popping. And so I imagine, another pullback is in session, at least down to this 84.6. Trading currency is a bit different, more extreme. You've got to be a little bit crazy got to be good at math because it involves a lot of pips, and it's, you know, kind of like they say in Wolf of Wall Street, like, you know, it's really high fucking frequency. You're just staring at fucking numbers all day. It's kind of intense. Um, I was looking at some of the cruise lines as well, RCL, because with the C word popping back up into everyone's business, you know, we might see some pullback from these areas, right? And where are we looking to oh shit, where are we looking to get, you know, some of these pullbacks to? You know, maybe down to this most recent area at this 77, but maybe down to this 72 level to see if it holds. CCL is one I like to play. It tends to be a little bit cheaper on the options. As you can see, we came up to our resistance zone. This time we broke it and pulled back. And so now we're seeing a bit of support kind of building in this area. But we'll see tomorrow as it opens if we hold this area, this 22.72 as support, and try to catch this ride back up into this resistance. But with all the bad news coming out, you've got to be careful. Yeah, Roblox. I was actually looking at this one too. They had a nice good run. We're almost back up to our resistance zone. They have earnings tomorrow. I don't know if it's pre-market or post-market, but we'll have to check that out. Yeah, these are kind of just the levels I'm watching. You know, as it came up to there, it didn't quite. I mean, Roblox is relatively new, so we have to wait and see. It's kind of in the middle. So if it fails to pull back up into this structure, this 85 level, and starts to reject, I would expect it to come back down to the 80 to 78 level. Another one that has earnings this week is Walmart. Walmart's way up, and it kind of has me thinking that, you know, possibly if we are to break some of this value that's been building up here to the downside, and you can see there's still a gap, right? But if we could get, and it has earnings tomorrow, I think it's aftermarket, but Amazon put out bad earnings, so, you know, you never know what can happen. And so I definitely want to wait to see what happens, but I might try to buy some really cheap out of the money weeklies, see if we can catch this, downside here. You know, that would just be a nice little catch. Even if it does bounce, we just get in there for the volatility and then pop back up. Tesla, we played on Friday in the room, worked out really nice. Right, we just caught this nice upside off the rip, sold them, got out of there, still holding above our support area. So we're seeing value build above higher. But Tesla is and can be very volatile. So if it starts to break, it can definitely run to the downside. So you've definitely got to be careful on that. I'm saying definitely a lot because I just watched Rain Man. Definitely. Another one that I am watching as well is Amazon. You know, Amazon tends to be a bit more expensive to play, but you're just seeing it just get killed, right? Amazon's kind of the only big tech stock that's just not recovered. And so you wonder if, and we can look at Netflix, you wonder if Amazon's kind of trying to tell us something, right? Are they trying to let us know, like, hey, it's coming and you guys need to be ready for it? Another one I was thinking about as well too is APA, right? Just based off of the oil play, we've seen it kind of just been sitting in a range, but it looks like it's ready to break this support level here down at the bottom. I'll be looking at like some at the money puts, you know, just based off of the news. Oh yeah, I love Rain Man. Yeah, such a good movie. You know, just some quick puts just for the weeklies, right? Yeah, Amazon's getting smacked. Amazon's been getting smacked ever since they put out those bad earnings. Another oil play, I think, if we look at ExxonMobil, you know, they're kind of in that same area where they're kind of at this lower support level, and if they break, uh, it could be, you know, pretty deep pullback, right? So it's definitely something to watch. With all this C word stuff going on too, you're gonna want to watch retail. The things I like to watch for retail, I like to trade Kohl's. We see that Kohl's is kind of trending up, getting a little bit of support off of these prior highs here. So we'll see if that can hold. If not, trade back down into this 50 level. And then another one that I've been watching for, and I actually owned a bunch of shares of Macy's when they were like fucking $6 and sold them when they were at $10 like a dum-dum. But it would, you know, would have been nice to hold on to those. And they're kind of in that same boat, right? They're holding, you know, these prior highs. We'll see if they can continue holding it and continue on this way up. They aren't able really to break any of these highs, so another one is, oops, that's the wrong one. Facebook. And so Facebook's kind of just hanging out. Kind of looks like a dragon, right? Like the year of the dragon, basically. And you know, maybe it's gonna burn the ground underneath of it and it's gonna fall. That's kind of what I'm looking at for that. Another one I was looking at was Intel. Shorted ETH break of C. Nice. Oh, bro. So if it pushes down, right, and it doesn't take this V low, because you see this big seller right here. I don't know if it's not updating this too. Weird that it like shows that, but let's see. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so there, I mean, there is a big seller sitting there or trying to sell at that level, I guess. Maybe something wicked down and touch that level. But you know, if it comes back above this 3202, look for it to trade up. And this happened, you know, this is for those of you guys that were kind of in the room. I kind of posted about this bar right here. So we got excess, right? That's what this is. This is excess. And we didn't see any continuation, right? And that's what we were looking for, is we were looking for a continuation to get into that imbalance. But we didn't. It traded back in, and then it just started trading up, right? Traded back into structure, and then it rotated, gave you a little pullback fight on the VWAP. That could have been your entrance to get long, right? I gave another little pullback. But these are the things you're looking for when you break structure, right? So if you're looking at this and you're looking at structure, you see this imbalance, no continuation, trades back into structure. Imbalance, no continuation, trades back into structure. Right here, you don't get a break of the top, right? Because this first bar was the break of the top. This was the break of the bottom. So this is not excess. This bar here is not considered excess yet, right? This one is. So we get excess. It pulls back down. This next bar opens up, ticks down, can't come back into structure, goes up. Boom. Entry. Stop. Imbalance. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Was that auto? Good stuff, man. Let's see, is everything else going? Bitcoin hasn't gone yet. Bitcoin's doing its normal thing, look below and fail. And this is so this might be a time to maybe check out and see if Bitcoin can get this continuation. Like I said, most of these altcoins have been leading to the downside. Bitcoin's just been kind of poking. Yep, we're seeing links start to push down. Let's look at ADA. ADA is pushing down. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of these altcoins push or lead the way. Litecoin's going down too. Litecoin needs to get back below this level right here. Why is it showing this? I don't understand that. Oh, because of A, that's why. Oh, okay. Couldn't see that wick. Okay, that makes sense. That was happening on ETH too. Yeah, it was. Oh, okay, that's why. I see. Oh, I see. All right, so now that we have excess, what we're going to look for is look for it to hold the impulse area. All right, so this is giving us our imbalance. I want to see it hold this level here and continue to the downside. Right? We just gave up all of this. And look where we came up to. Just barely ticked over the top of structure, and then boom, the downside. So probably a lot of FOMO happened. Probably got a bunch of people wrapped up here. I got in a little bit later, but okay, that's why you have a stop loss. The next major resistance on Bitcoin. I mean, just depends. I think 50,000, probably close to it, is probably the next major resistance. I mean, it's at 47,000 now. This down move was quick, you know, so maybe as it trades up, we'll see. It's kind of at this 48 level here, kind of hit it, then just came back down. So, you know, like I said, I kind of see it trading in this channel. This is what kind of put me on the downside when I saw this. We haven't seen that, right? It's kind of just been some good movement back and forth, but this one was just a flat line, right? And then straight down. So straight up, flat line, straight down. You know, any of my thanks, Capri. Appreciate it, man. Any of my army people, you know, those Rakasans, that Rakasan symbol here. Yeah, Bitcoin looks like it wants to go. ETH holding. That BTC. BTC is not really giving it any juice. No sellers are getting on board. So we might see, you know, might see it start to do its own thing, right? Might see it start to trade kind of like I was talking about. And if we let's look at gold real quick. Gold popped up and then is coming back down hard. So this is not great for the market. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar is coming back up. That's not great for the market either. So that must be why gold's going down. And let's look at TLT. TLT is not trading right now, but we saw TLT rally on Friday. And these are basically trading inversely to bonds. So look for a 50K short. Oh, there's going to be plays before that, man. There's going to be plays before that for sure. Kind of coming into a resistance TLT, but TLT just plays off the bonds. So you got to be looking at bonds to be ready to play TLT, watching the dollar and things like that. See if ETH holds it down. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got for you guys tonight. We will be live in the trade room in the morning. For those of you that will be in there with us, I will see you bright and early. Tomorrow, let's see here. Tomorrow, what do we got? We don't really have any economic news. One more thing that we can go over is the Bitcoin COT reports. And so if we look here, and this is kind of what I was explaining, we saw institutional money. We saw institutional money cut a little bit of their long position and add to their short position. They're still net long, obviously, as we can see here. They have 629 contracts long, 275 short, but they're adding to their short position. Just a little bit of hedging there, right? You can see that leverage funds don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've just been shorting this whole time. They got 5,000 contracts short while we've been going up. That's why I say never follow leverage funds. They're just gamblers. They're not really traders. They're just trying to hit a home run on every play, and they strike out more often than not. But institutional money is smart. That's what you want to be watching. We can look at a couple more of these real quick while we're on here. Let's look at the E-mini S&P. So we're seeing them cut their short position by a pretty good amount, but they're also cutting their long position. They're still net long, obviously, but we have a pretty decent cut on the short side as well. So history tells us 18th to the 22nd of the month, we see a major jump. What's your opinion? Does that happen every month? You're talking about on Bitcoin? Let's take a peek at this. All right, Carl, have a good night. Christian, have a good night. Yeah, I'll be on at probably like 5:30, yeah. Would you say the 18th or the 21st or 22nd? 18th, 22nd, boom, there it is. And another 18th right here. '18th, 22nd. Find another 18th. '18th to the 22nd. I mean, this 22nd kind of rallies though, right? And comes back down. Yeah, I mean down for sure. See if we can find another one. That's 3 in a row. I don't even know what price was that. Got the 18th to the 22nd. Pretty much just traded sideways during this one. I mean, 3 for 4 is not bad. During the last weekend, it dumps more than yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that, to be honest with you. I don't pay attention to stuff like I just trade chart. I still like this Bitcoin long if we can get above this 263 level. Nice Nice long. The short, as we're coming into this low volume, look for it to maybe catch some support here at this 41,180, or maybe back down here in this structure below around this 46,810 level. Like I said, I imagine that this 50K is going to be a pretty big resistance. I'm not predicting it, or I'm just kind of expecting a pullback to around this 40K level. This 4600 level. It just makes sense to me, right? Based off of structure, that's where we could see a decent pullback too. And we have some support there, and if it can hold that as support, then we can see it really start to make a move to the upside, right? It would make sense. And basically this is kind of what I'm looking at, right? So you're seeing all this value get put in. We had this pop above, didn't hold, traded back down, back into our support level, traded back up, and now is kind of dancing around above it. So I'd like to see it come back down, build some value in this area, and then continue on its journey back to all-time highs. Right. Is it going to happen? Who knows? We just have to take it one day at a time and see. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys all in the morning. Appreciate it, guys.